Okay, so yesterday we derived two equations of motion graphically. The first one, v is equal to u plus at. How? By plotting the velocity time graph for uniformly accelerated motion. Uniformly accelerated motion, the vt graph is a straight line having a constant slope. Okay, so as acceleration is coming in the first equation, so from the graph we find out the acceleration, which is the slope of the line, and the slope of the line is given by tan theta perpendicular upon base. Okay, so we get the first equation of motion. For the second equation of motion, s is equal to ut plus half at square. The distance is coming, so if we find out the distance from here, that is the area covered under the line. So it will be the area of the triangle plus the area of the rectangle. Okay, on simplifying it, we get it. S is equal to ut plus half at square. Okay, there v was coming, so we had to eliminate v. How? Using the first equation of motion. Okay, now let's derive the third equation of motion, which is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Okay, again from this equation you see that s is coming. So let's find out the distance traveled. So distance is again area under the line AB. Area under AB line. Okay, like for the second equation, we used area of triangle plus area of rectangle. In the same manner also you can do it. Now let's do it in a different manner. We see that this shape is a trapezium. Let's find out the area of trapezium. Okay, or otherwise area of triangle plus rectangle also you can do it. You will get this equation. Okay, so here area of trapezium. Let's name this trapezium OABCD. OABCD. Okay, and we know that the area of a trapezium is half sum of the parallel sides into the height. Okay, area of a trapezium in maths you have studied in the lower classes. It is the sum of parallel sides into height. Okay, which two sides here you see it, they are parallel, OA and BD. OA and BD are the parallel sides. So sum of the parallel sides means OA plus BD into height, this distance AC, or you can write it to be OD. AC is equal to OD. Okay, now here OA, as we know, is equal to initial velocity. The particle is not starting from zero velocity at t is equal to 0. At t is equal to 0, it's already having some velocity, which we call it as the initial velocity, where BD is equal to the final velocity. Okay, at this particular time, the velocity is, let us consider it to be final velocity. Okay, and OD is equal to T. Okay, now look at this equation, the equation which we have to derive. In this equation, T is not coming. So it means we have to eliminate this T. And how can we eliminate this T? Using the first equation of motion. We know that according to first equation, V is equal to U plus AT. So A into T is equal to V minus U, or T is equal to V minus U upon A. Okay, so substituting T in equation number 1. Let this is equation number 1. Okay, now let us substitute. What do we get? Half U plus V can be written as V plus U, and T is equal to V minus U upon A. Okay, from the first equation we found out. Okay, now V plus U into V minus U, V square minus U square, as you know that A plus V into A minus V is A square minus B square. So V plus U into V minus V is equal to half V square minus U square upon A is the distance traveled. Okay, let me write it there. Cross multiply it. Cross multiply 2 into A into S. 2AS is equal to V square minus U square, which is the third equation of motion. Hence, we have derived the third equation of motion. Okay, this is S is equal to half V square minus U square upon A. Okay, note it down. So here we have derived the third equation also. How? By graphical method. Okay, as these equations, hurry up, note it down. As these equations are valid only for uniformly accelerated motion. Uniformly accelerated motion means the body which is moving with a constant acceleration. Okay, so if the acceleration is constant, then only you can use these equations. Okay, so we have derived all three equations by graphical method. Okay, while doing differentiation and integration, that is calculus, we have also derived these equations by calculus method. Okay, so here by graphical method. Okay, now here one more equation will derive it. The distance traveled in a particular second. Suppose in nth second. Okay, first note it down and let me know. I'll rub the board and then we'll start. Note it down.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Shall I rub it? Okay, now we'll find out the distance traveled in nth second. Now, what do you mean by it? Let's see. Okay, distance in nth second, in a particular second, here we'll find out. The formula S is equal to ut plus half at square. That is the distance traveled from 0 to t seconds. Now, in a particular second, tth second, distance in nth second, in a particular second. Okay, let's first try to understand. Suppose we are finding out the distance traveled in 7 seconds. Okay, let the particle travels from O to A in 7 seconds. That is 0 to 7 seconds. Let the particle has traveled from O to A. Okay, now when you use the formula S is equal to ut plus half at square, substituting t is equal to 7, you will get the distance from O to A. But here, if you have to find out the distance traveled in 7th second, that is in a particular second, how will you find out? Let the body has traveled distance OB in 6 seconds. OB is the distance traveled in 6 seconds. OA is the distance traveled in 7 seconds. Now, what will be the distance traveled in the 7th second? This distance will be BA distance. When you use the formula S is equal to ut plus half at square, you get the distance from 0 to 7 seconds. Let the body has traveled from O to A in 7 seconds. Let the body has traveled O to B in 6 seconds. So in the particular 7th second, how much distance it has traveled? BA distance. Okay, that is how will you find out the distance traveled by the particle in 7 seconds minus the distance traveled by the body in 6 seconds. You will get the distance traveled in the 7th second. Okay, the same way that the distance traveled in nth second will be the distance traveled in n seconds minus the distance traveled in n minus 1 seconds. Okay, in n seconds, it has traveled in this much distance. In n minus 1, it has traveled OB distance. So what will be the distance in nth second? That will be BA. So how to find out? First, we'll find out the distance traveled in. Let's write down here. This is the distance traveled in nth second is equal to distance traveled in n seconds minus the distance traveled in n minus 1 second. Okay, so S nth is distance in nth second in a particular second. Sn is distance in n seconds. S n minus 1 is the distance in n minus 1 seconds. Okay, so in the nth second, the distance traveled in n seconds minus the distance traveled in n minus 1 seconds. And how do we find out the distance traveled in n seconds? Using the formula S is equal to ut plus half at square. Here t is equal to n. So ut un plus half at square, that is half a into n square, is the distance traveled in n seconds minus the distance traveled in n minus 1 seconds u. Now the time is ut, t here is n minus 1 plus half a. What is the time? N minus 1 whole square. I think everyone can simplify and get one equation which will be the distance traveled in nth second. Okay, it will not be the same ut plus half at square. That is the distance traveled from 0 to n seconds. Simplify. Open this bracket. Minus sign outside, all the signs will change. These two will cancel out with some of the terms over here in the second bracket, and you will get one formula. Will you do it? I give you only 15 seconds. Okay, after that I'm going to start. Un minus un cancels out. Half an square. Okay, this minus is outside. Minus half an square cancels out. And what remains? Now take this minus inside. Plus u. Minus into minus. Plus u. Okay, this minus inside. Minus half a. 1 minus 2n. Is it so? Okay, let us write it as u plus a by 2. That is, we take this minus sign inside. So what do we get? 2n minus 1 is the formula for the distance traveled in nth second. Okay, u plus a by 2, 2n minus 1. Okay, so here you get the distance traveled in nth second. Is it clear? Very simple calculation, simplification.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, write a question, hurry up. Write down a body, an object moving with the initial velocity, 20 meter per second, has an acceleration of 2 meter per second square. Find the distance traveled in 7 seconds and the distance in 7th second. Find the distance traveled in 7 seconds and the distance traveled in 7th second. Which one will be more? Distance traveled in 7 seconds will be more, or the distance traveled in the 7th second?
Distance traveled in 7 seconds.
Yes. Okay, which formula will you use for distance traveled in 7 seconds? S is equal to ut plus half at square. U here is 20. T here is 7 seconds plus half acceleration given here is 2 into 7 square. 7 into 7, 49. Okay, you can simplify. So this is the distance traveled in 7 seconds, whereas the distance traveled in the 7th second is u plus a by 2, 20 plus a upon 2. A here given is 2 upon 2, 2n minus 1, 2 into 7, 14 minus 1. Okay, you can simplify and get the answer in meters. What is the distance traveled in 7 seconds? What is the answer? Any one of you?
189 meter.
189.
189 meter. Okay. Whereas in 7th second is
33 meter.
33 meters. You can check your answer yourself. Okay, so which formula to be used? You should know it. Okay, clear? Okay, next we'll find out relative velocity. The next topic is relative velocity in one dimension. Okay, write the heading. Relative velocity in one dimension. Relative velocity in one dimension. Okay, here this chapter is the 1D motion, straight line motion. That is the particle is moving in a straight line. So here relative velocity, it means two particles are moving one dimension. One dimension means both are moving in the same straight line. Okay, but their velocities are different. So two particles moving with different velocities in the same straight line, they will have some relative velocity. So the velocity of the first object with respect to second is called as the relative velocity. Okay, for example, let two cars are moving in a straight line on a straight road. One is moving with a 60 kilometer per hour and the other one is moving with 80 kilometers per hour. So the person who is sitting in the car moving with 60 kilometer per hour, he will not see the other car moving with 80 kilometers per hour because his car is also, he also is itself moving. So with respect to this person, he will see the velocity of the other car. So this we call it as the relative velocity. That is velocity of one object with respect to the other. That is called as relative velocity in one dimension. So hurry up, write down. Write down two objects moving in the same straight line, moving in the same straight line with different velocities, then the velocity of one object, with respect to the other, is called as relative velocity. Okay, now let's take an example. The A object moving with a velocity VA, B object moving with the velocity VB. Now the relative velocity of A with respect to B, it is written as VAB. Wherever it is written like this, it means it is the relative velocity of A with respect to B. And the formula is VA minus VB. Okay, like as we discussed, one car moving with 60 kilometer per hour, the other moving with 80 kilometer per hour. So with respect to the person who is sitting in A, he will see the other car moving at 20 kilometers per hour. Why? Because that car is also itself moving. So relative velocity, the velocity of A minus the velocity of B will give you the relative velocity of A with respect to B. Okay, if you have to find out the relative velocity of the second with respect to first, that is VBA. The relative velocity of B with respect to A will be equal to VB minus VA. Okay, so VA minus VB is V velocity of A minus the velocity of B. Okay, now according to the sign convention, towards right, we take it to be positive. Towards left, we take it to be negative. Okay, for example, if A is moving along this direction, VA, B is moving towards left, then the relative velocity of A with respect to B is VA minus this VB will be taken as negative. Okay, according to the sign convention, minus x-axis, we take it to be negative. So this will be minus VB and hence it will be VA plus VB. Here we have considered that both are moving towards right. VA is positive, VB is positive, and the formula is VA minus VB. Okay, but here A is moving towards right, B moving towards left. So it's according to the sign convention, this velocity of B will be taken as minus VB. The formula is VA minus VB, but VB is negative, so it will become VA plus VB. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Write
Yes, ma'am.
okay, then write a question. Write down if two bodies are moving in the same direction, along a straight line, with equal velocities, then what is the relative velocity of one object with respect to other? Then what is the relative velocity of one object with respect to other? Okay, A and B are moving in the same straight line with equal velocities. What is the relative velocity of A with respect to B? Anyone?
0.
Yes, it would be.
0.
Yes, it would be VA minus VB as the velocities are equal 0. So whenever we define this relative velocity, we say that two bodies moving in the straight line with different velocities. Okay, then only they will have relative velocity of one with respect to other. If they are moving with equal velocities, suppose two cars are moving with the same velocity, 60 km/h. So how would they with respect to one another? It will appear as if they are at rest. Okay, why the relative velocity will be 0. Okay, write another question. Plot xt graph for two objects having zero relative velocity. Okay, both bodies are moving with, that is zero relative velocity means both the bodies are moving with equal velocities in the same direction. How is the xt graph for a body which is moving with a constant velocity?
Straight line parallel to timeline.
Straight line parallel to
Straight
time.
line.
Parallel to timeline.
No, not parallel to time. Having a constant slope.
Constant.
Yes, having a constant slope. So the slope is giving the velocity over here. The other body is also moving with the same velocity. Let this is body A. The other one is also moving with the same velocity. So what should be same? Tan theta should be same, because here tan theta, that is the slope, gives the velocity. And if both are moving with the same velocity, this theta should be same, so that the tan theta is same. So how will be the graph? Both the bodies are, as they are moving with equal velocities, so they will be parallel lines. Okay, how would be the graph? The two graphs will be making equal angle with the horizontal. Why? Because theta should be same, so that tan theta should be same, so that their velocity should be same. Why? Because the slope of the line, slope of the xt graph line gives the velocity, so the slope should be same. For the slope to be same, theta should be equal. So both will be parallel lines. Okay, unequal velocities. How will be the graph if the bodies are moving with unequal velocities? The xt graph only we are discussing. One will have a greater slope than the other. So they two will intersect, they two may intersect with each other. Okay, one will having a more slope, the other body will be having a less slope. Theta more means more velocity. Okay, so they will intersect. So this is for the bodies moving with unequal velocities, that is they will possess some relative velocity. Here the relative velocity is 0. Relative velocity is 0. Why? Because both are having the same slope, both are moving with the same velocity. Okay, write one more question. Let this is the xt graph, displacement time graph. A body is making an angle 30 degree and B body is making 60 degree. Find the ratio of the velocity of A with respect to B. Find VA upon VB. Okay, how do we get the velocity of A object? Slope of the line. Slope of the line is given by tan theta, that is tan 30 degree. So VA is equal to tan 30 degree. Why? Because from the xt graph, the slope of the line gives the velocity. Okay, and how do we find out the slope? Tan theta, that is tan 30 is VA. The same way, the slope of B line will give the velocity of B object, that is tan 60 degree. Okay, tan 30 is, don't know, 1 upon root 3, whereas tan 60 is root 3. So what is
Root
the
3.
answer? 1:3. Okay, so what is the answer? 1:3. Write another question. Now the velocity time graph is given. Okay, let this bodies are C and D. Which body is having greater acceleration? Acceleration of D body is greater or less than? I have to put the sign over here. Greater or less? Yes, why?
Greater.
Later.
Okay, good. The slope of the line gives the acceleration. More the slope, more is the acceleration. And more slope means more theta it should be. As we see here that the D body is making more angle as compared to the C1. So the acceleration of D will be more than that of C. Okay, so the acceleration of D body is greater than that of C. Okay, write one more question. Okay, let this is xt graph. Particle is moving like this. Is it representing 1D motion? One dimensional. One dimensional motion means it should be moving in a straight line. Straight line means at a particular 1 minute. At a particular instant of time, its position should be a single position. But here you see that at this particular time, it is having this position also, this position also. Is it possible for 1D motion? If the particle is moving in a straight line at an instant of time, it will have a single position. But here at this time, we see that there are two positions. Okay, so this is not representing 1D motion, not representing 1D motion. The same way, if the velocity time graph is as shown, Let this is the velocity time graph. Again, when it is moving in a straight line at a particular instant of time, single velocity. But at this time, there are two velocities. Again, it is not representing 1D motion. This graph is also not representing 1D motion. Okay, is this graph possible if it is plotted between speed and time?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this graph possible? See, specifically it is written over speed.
Ma'am.
Now,
No,
characteristics,
ma'am.
speed can never be negative.
Speed
No,
cannot be
ma'am.
negative.
So this graph is not possible. Okay, this graph is also not possible. Why? Because the speed can never be negative. Okay, if it is given that the total path length, what is total path length? Distance. The total path length, is this graph possible? With from here to here,
No, ma'am.
total path length. Now the total path length is decreasing. With the time, can the distance decrease? A particle is moving, so distance will obviously keep on increasing. Here the distance is increasing. If it was displacement, then it would have been possible. But here it is given that total path length with the time. It is not possible. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Ma'am.
Okay, very good. Okay, then few questions you have to do. The exercise questions. Okay, for today, note down question number 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 10. Except 4 and 8 and 9, leave these questions. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, then
Okay, ma'am.
5, 6, 7, and 10 for today. Exercise questions. Exercise questions given on page 56. Okay, today you will try these questions. If there is any difficulty, we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, don't leave the meeting. Let me take your attendance. Okay, tomorrow we'll talk about it. Let me take the attendance. Yeah, yeah. Don't make noise. Do these questions. By the time you do these questions, still I take them.
जनरल एग्जाम
Oh, yes, busy talking. Very good.
तुम्हारा काला काले की और भी छोड़ दूं मैं क्यों क्यों ये तो छोड़ना ही था ना हाँ छोड़ना फाड़ दूं मम्मी इस पेज को अरे फाड़ मत यार मैं फाड़ दूंगी इससे फाड़ता है ये
आवाज बहुत आ रही है।
Okay, I'm ending the meeting. Enjoy the day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, welcome.